Local and live. Covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState.
Welcome back to Let's Talk TriState. Joining us today, we have one of our friends from Wilson College. As a matter of fact, we couldn't have a better friend from Wilson College. He's the president. Would you please welcome Wes Fugate? Wes, pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely a pleasure. So we have a big event coming up this weekend.
That's right.
As we speak, we're a mere few days away. Fall is here.
Yes.
And we have Wilson Weekend.
That's right.
Coming up. Take us through the basics of Wilson Weekend.
So Wilson Weekend is something we do every single year. It's a combination of a family weekend and a homecoming, all of the big celebration wrapped into one. And we have everything on campus from athletic events to opportunities for our families to visit with the equestrian center and get to experience our horses. Kind of a fall fest sort of atmosphere. And many years, and this year is one of those, it happens to also coincide with Chambersburg's Apple Fest. So it's just a wonderful time to bring our alums, our families back into town, be on campus, and celebrate our local community.
And big news as well, you know, you're capping off the $16 million The We Rise campaign. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so 3 years ago, the college started to embark on a campaign that was going to support primarily the operations of the institution, as well as scholarships for students to make sure that Wilson remains an affordable option for our regional community, helping support our faculty and staff, and making sure that they have the tools to be the most effective teachers and support that they can be. Sure. And then also finally helping us grow the institution. Over the last decade or so, Wilson's been on a very fast growth trajectory. We've grown 38% over the last 3 years at about 2,000 students, and we need some dollars to help us continue to grow. Things like finding additional room for all the students that are going to be living on our campus. And so that campaign ended on June 30th. And so this weekend we're going to announce the total raised, and I'm delighted to give you the preview that it's going to be well beyond $16 million. So we're really excited about it and thankful to all the folks who helped make that possible.
You mentioned early on when you were talking about that, keeping Wilson, emphasis on keeping Wilson an affordable option.
Yeah.
You were saying off air, and whatever it is that you're willing to share, please do, but you mentioned something about by the time you factor in all of the incentives and the student loans and grants and things, what were you telling me about the comparison to public institution versus Wilson?
Thank you. It's a great misnomer that private education is not attainable.
Sure.
And in particular for Wilson, we've really focused on affordability. About a decade ago, we did actually a tuition reset. We cut our tuition. But even at that tuition, I think a lot of people think it's not affordable for them. But in actuality, if you take all of the financial aid that the college, the state, the feds give out, and then you compare that to a nearby public institution, we actually end up being about $2,300 less per student. So I like to say, Wilson College, you get a private education at a public price.
I think it's, in a lot of ways too, it's all about, pardon the pun, it's all about education, because some folks may think that private education is too expensive, just the word private, as you said, misnomer. But not only that, they may also think, well, there's no way you can get any assistance for this.
That's right. There's tons of financial aid available. We actually, as a result of the campaign, are going to be able to give out more financial aid than ever before. And so we take every student's financial position and try to make it as affordable as we can.
Absolutely.
And we're very fortunate to have support from the state and the federal government in that as well.
I have seen what we're going to now transition into one of the bigger parts of Wilson's celebration weekend this weekend is I've seen a drone show before.
Yeah.
And at first when I saw the idea of this or heard the idea of this where I was before, I thought, I don't know. But I saw it and I thought, this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And I'll tell you what it was. It was a show that was a replacement to fireworks.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the reasons why this venue chose to do this. But nonetheless, it was, we're not having fireworks, we're going to have, and they'd had fireworks. It was a long-standing tradition. And I think that's why some of the resistance at first was, oh, I'm so used to, the way that it has been. And then you see it, like, this is amazingly cool.
Yeah.
You are having one of those drone shows as part of this celebration weekend.
That's right. So on Saturday evening at 8 p.m., we are going to literally light up our campus with over 300 drones. And, I would call it mesmerizing.
Yes.
I think, we are so used to the traditional fireworks displays. First off, drones are an environmentally friendly way to do kind of a show in the sky, particularly with all the fires that have been raging around our country and even in Canada that affected us a few years ago with the smoke. This is a way to help, make sure that we're not damaging our local community in any way. But secondly, this technology is so incredible that we are literally going to put images that Franklin County residents are going to recognize into the sky. Yes. So we've got about 20 different images over the 15-minute show, and they will see everything from the burning of Chambersburg to the phoenix rising from the ashes, the phoenix being our mascot. So
that is incredible.
It is going to be an outstanding show. It'll be set to music.
Yeah.
Folks will be able to download an app so that they can hear the music and the narration that goes along with the show. So it will be an awesome experience. We're inviting everybody to come out and join us. We'll allow folks to be on our campus green and to look up to the sky over the Conococheague, and that's where it will take place. If the weather's really nice, you might be able to see it in downtown Chambersburg. You might be able to see it as far out as Giant.
Sure.
But the show is oriented to be seen from our campus screen, so we invite folks to come onto campus to see it.
And this is broken into 2 chapters, is that correct?
Well, 3 actually.
Oh, okay.
We're going to do one section that's going to be focused on our nation as we enter into our 250th anniversary of the United States of America. So there's a patriotic section. We'll kind of transition from the patriotic section by introducing our county's namesake. Ben Franklin will quite literally be in the sky.
Okay.
And it will move into images of our local community. And so we're going to honor our agricultural community. We're going to talk about downtown Chambersburg. And then that will flow into Wilson College and our very good fortune to have been a member of this community for nearly 160 years and educate folks about some of the great things that are going on at the college, and we'll talk about everything from our academic programs to athletics, our national championships and equestrian, and everything in between.
I think what's great about this is that it is different. There, you can be better than, less than, or different than when you try to come up with events, and every institution, every venue is trying to come up with something that the area hasn't seen, and it becomes very difficult. It really does. And I think that this drone show is something that our area has not really seen.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, everyone who is seeing this and watching this will enjoy this production. And I want to get to this very important question because I know my job is to ask the questions that that folks may be like, ask him this, ask him this. Cost, admission, and can you bring lawn chairs? What's the deal there, Wes?
Yeah, absolutely free. So this is being covered by generous supporters like the Gilmore Horner Endowment, our friends with the Franklin County Visitors Bureau, F&M Trust, and some folks that are really close to the college. Okay. Some of our trustees and former trustees who wanted to make this possible for the local community because we want more people to come to our campus. So it's totally free to anyone who wants to be involved. Do bring your blankets and lawn chairs so that you'll be comfortable, but you're welcome to just sit on the grass or stand there on the campus green. I am recommending that people arrive early. Okay. Parking could potentially be a challenge depending on how many people that choose to show up. And the parking lots that will be further out, you're going to have to take some time to walk into the center of campus. So do come early. The pre-show music will start 15 minutes beforehand, so we're glad to have everybody as early as they want to join us.
And bring your cell phones, bring your earbuds, because as you said, you can download the app. But then, will there be signage, or is there a particular place that folks should be, a particular entrance most folks should try to look for?
Yeah, so as long as you are coming onto our campus, you will be directed. We'll have folks there to, there are 3 different entrances. I like to say that the center entrance is the most complicated. That's the one everybody knows with the big signs there on Philadelphia. But the 2 far end entrances will probably be much easier for you to navigate. And in particular, there's more parking towards towards Middle Haven. So
Okay.
if you know where Middle Haven is, that's probably the best entrance to come into. Enjoy a casual walk, see our beautiful campus, make yourselves comfortable. And yes, don't forget your phones, and it should be the technology should work so that you can play your phone out in the open. If you're close enough to there'll be a small area that's reserved for our students and their families. That will actually have projected music, so you may be able to hear that as well.
And the thing is, stop at your local coffee shop or brew something before you leave for the house. Bring some hot cocoa with you. Have a great night.
That's right. And
Hit up Applefest.
we're expecting great weather. Yeah, come down to Applefest, spend the day at Applefest, maybe enjoy dinner in one of the amazing restaurants in downtown Chambersburg. I like to say home of Wilson College every time I post on social media about the great places that we have in town, and make a night of it. This is really about celebrating our local community, and we are so proud of our relationship with Chambersburg and Franklin County. I tell folks all the time, we're the #1 spot for prom photos, homecoming photos, wedding photos. We want people to see more of the college than just our beautiful campus, and this is an opportunity to learn a little bit more about it and see something that's going to be really impressive that they may not have seen somewhere else.
If you grow a small field of sunflowers, no one will ever go anywhere else for pictures.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because we debated for the longest time putting a sunflower into the show, because I annually make my trek out to get my photo with the sunflowers. And actually, I will tell you, our international students love coming and taking their photos at the sunflowers.
Oh, it is beautiful.
It is one of the highlights every year.
It's just that it's become so obligatory now.
Yeah.
It's that time of year. I've got to get my pictures with the sunflowers.
Yes. It's kind of the way I feel about the prom and homecoming photos. We have one particular spot with a swing in it, and the line goes for a mile because everybody wants a photo on the swing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you can check out the website online, wilson.edu. We've been talking with President of Wilson College, Wes Fugate. Wes, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with the celebration this weekend, and we hope tons of people come out and hope this is something that can happen year after year, okay?
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Pleasure as always.
Yes.
And thank you so much for joining us today on Let's Talk TriState.
Let's talk TriState.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk TriState, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.